Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Let us start by giving you all a quick brief on what OctaNet is. So, Tech OctaNet is a budding startup headquartered in Bhubaneswar, specializing in IT solutions across diverse sectors including e-commerce, real estate, automation, and personalized business application. Our primary focus is to provide affordable services to startups, aiding them into their digital initiatives. In addition to our core services, we are expanding into the corporate training sector, aiming to equip future corporate employees with a solid foundation. We also address student needs by identifying academic project requirements, internship opportunities, and offering comprehensive solutions. We are proud to be incorporated as an organization with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, registered with MSME, and approved by AICTE for internship programs. Also, our commitment to quality is underscored by ISO 9001 2015 certification, ensuring that every project we undertake reaches highest standards of excellence. Okay, thank you so much. That was all. Let us now stage our instructor and start today's session.
First of all, good evening, everyone. So, are you people able to hear me? Just respond in the chat. Guys, so am I audible? Okay. So how is it, Josh? Like, are you people very eager to learn more about Java? Thank you guys for your reply. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll be going ahead with the thing. Guys, you could also use some kind of emojis, no? Like to say how much eager you are. Because as this is the first day, first I'll be telling you the agenda of today's session. So first of all, we'll be seeing the topics which we'll be covering in this Java workshop, and after that we'll be seeing the basics of Java today, and what are the features of Java and why it has been named as Java, and some basic concepts like variables, data types. All these things we'll be seeing today. Yeah. So this is the lesson plan which I have done. So these are the concepts which we'll be covering in these 4 sessions. So just take a look on it. We'll be seeing the overview of Java and the features and how a Java program will be. Means the structure of a Java program and the very basic concepts in like various programming languages like variables and data types. And guys, here is a question for you: like, how many people are newbie to programming languages? So are you people aware of like some other languages like C, C++, Python, or something like that? If you people know any programming languages, you could put it in the chat window so that it will be easy for me in order to take the sessions. Okay, so then we'll be seeing about operators, the control structures which we are going to use in Java, and these control structures will actually play an important role whenever you are going to solve any competitive programming thing. Okay, and we'll be seeing about the methods. Methods are nothing but in Python we'll be telling it as a function, whereas in Java we'll be calling it as a method. And we'll be seeing some linear data structures like arrays and strings, and the basic a pillar of Java, like the thing which is very important for you is the OOPS concept, which makes Java, a language in order to build many software products. And as we already know, Java is an object-oriented programming languages. So we'll be seeing the concept of what do you mean by a class and object. So is my face okay or am I very fast? Okay, my boss. So you know C++, okay. And do any of you know any other languages apart from Java? Or guys, is my pace okay, or am I a bit faster? Because it helps me to like explain the concepts, all these concepts. Okay. C++ and Python. Okay. Also, like Avinash will be covering things like collections here. Okay. Because we'll be seeing some collection things like hash map, linked list, array list, and all those things. Okay. And I'll be giving you a basic example of what you mean by a thread, because thread is an important concept. And yeah, these are the things which I'll be covering. Okay. C and Java. Okay. Python, C, C++. Okay, guys. So I'll be sharing you this detailed summary of all these things. Okay. And these are the things which we are going to see. And whenever we are going to see the OOPS concept, as I've already said, this is a very supportive thing in Java. So we'll be seeing about inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction with uh, examples also. Okay. C, Java, and JavaScript. Okay. Okay. So moving on with the presentation. So what is Java? So Java is actually a programming languages, and with the help of Java, so as a developer, in a developer point of view, I'll be telling, in which and all areas Java is being used. Java is used everywhere. Not everywhere in the sense like even we can use it as a programming language in order to solve some computer programming questions in various coding platforms like LeetCode, CodeChef, HackerRank, and all these things. And Java is also used as a language in order to build the software products, because people are using it because it has more security. And many companies like Zoho, their every products they are building only with the help of Java. And also we can build ML models using Java, also core Java, because Python is a language which is actually derived from Java. So what and all functions and the functionalities which is available in Python is also available in Java. But the thing what makes the difference here is Java has more syntaxes, and you people have to remember all the syntaxes. But because of the practice, like if you are practicing it daily, or if you are practicing it by solving more questions, means obviously it will be in your fingertips. Okay. Whereas Python, it is a very easiest language, which means we don't have to explicitly mention whether it's a class or a thing, or in order to define a variable also, we'll not be mentioning its data type, right? So that's what makes Java and Python is a bit easier, but all the functionalities which is available in Python is also available in Java. But the thing is, there are various syntaxes and libraries which has to be imported. Okay. And the Java language is developed by Sun Microsystems in the year 1995. So first it was named as Oak. Okay. As Java was an already registered, Oak was already an registered name. They have converted it into Java, and I think you people are aware of the symbol of Java. And Java is actually a high-level object-oriented programming language. So, what do you mean by a high-level programming language? In the sense, it is a language which basically humans can understand, right? So, it will be high-level language in the sense these are easily understandable by humans, but obviously computers cannot understand high-level language. Okay. This language will be kind of yeah, I think you people know what do you mean by binary language, assembly language, and high level language. Okay. So this is a high level language which will be in the form of English, normal English scripts, which human will be able to understand. And why it is known as an object oriented programming language, in the sense everything whichever we define in Java comprises of class and objects. So like people, if you have any doubts, you can put it in the you can put it in the chat. Okay. Because I have kept some time in between uh, for questions, so I'll be coming and answering your questions. Okay, don't worry. And if you think you're unable to understand any concept, or I am a bit faster also, you can intimate it in the chat window, so that I'll make the things clear again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So while Java is known as an object-oriented programming language in this sense, usually let's take Python. So if you're going to write any print statement, means just you'll be giving print, and inside you'll be giving the content which has to be printed, right? But in Java, in order to print a simple statement also, it must be, like enclosed uh, inside a class. So everything which we view in Java will be in the form of classes and objects. Okay, so object is actually like an instance of a class. So class is like a blueprint of all the attributes of the different objects. So we'll be seeing it in a more detailed way. Okay, as it is a very, today we are going to deal only with the basics of Java. I think it will be heavy for you to understand like what do you mean by object-oriented programming language. But the reason why we are calling it as an OOPS language is like, yeah, everything will be in the form of classes and objects. Okay, and the father of Java is James Gosling, and here he is James Gosling, and here it's a very important thing to see. It is both a platform as well as a programming language. Okay, the programming language in the sense you can like use it for solving some coding problems, and also why people are calling it as a platform in this sense, because like Java follows write once and run everywhere. Okay, so in Java we do have JVM, Java virtual machine, which is actually used in order to run Java file. Okay, so this JVM, it follows the principle WORA, write once and run everywhere. Write once and run anywhere. Okay, in the sense, like for example, I'm going to write a Java code, and I'm going to have like a Windows operating system. Okay, so I'll be having the JVM, and I'm going to execute the code in my laptop. So my friend, he's having another OS, Mac OS. Okay, so uh, there is nothing like I want to modify the Java code which I have written in my project in order to make it run in that OS platform, in Mac OS. Okay, because Java is actually a thing. Only once we'll be writing the Java code, and we can run it in various platforms. Like it could be Windows, Mac, okay, anything. Just one time only you're going to write the code, and that's it. In various OS, you can run your file anywhere. Okay, because it actually adapts. Uh, and one more thing, Java is platform independent. Okay, you can use the Java file in various operating systems without modifying the code, okay, of the writer, of the original author, or some people who have written the code. But JVM, the virtual machine or the entity which is actually required to run a Java file, right, it is platform dependent. So we'll be seeing the entire architecture of JVM in today's session, like how whenever you're going to write a high level code, how it is actually converted to into a binary level, and how the execution process is being carried out. Okay. Next, we'll be seeing the features of Java. So these are the four principal features. So Java is actually very simple, because I do have seen many memes like like learning DSA, data structures and algorithms using Java is the quite toughest thing. Okay, but it is, according to me, it is not like that. It doesn't mean that as I am a Java instructor, I'm telling this thing, because Java is actually very, very easy, because we do have many predefined libraries. So it's not like a structured language like C, because in C, in order to create a linked list, we have to write structures, and then we have to create a pointer. All those things must be written whenever we are using C. Okay, and but it's not the case in Java, because in Java we do have collections of framework uh, with which we can easily implement linked list concepts and all. So Java is quite simple, but the thing is you have to like know all the syntaxes of what to use, where to use, and how to use, and that becomes simpler whenever you are practicing Java by solving problems. Okay, and as I've already said, Java is an object-oriented programming language, because we think whichever we are following in Java, every entity in Java is class and object only. We'll be seeing detailing about what is a class and what is an object in upcoming sessions. Don't worry. And as explained in the earlier slide, Java is platform independent. Okay, I'll be writing my code in one OS, and without modifying the Java file, I can run the same Java code in another OS also. Okay, yeah, and Java is portable in the sense like the same code the same code can be like used in various platforms. I think that makes Java a unique one. Okay, so these are the features of Java, and now it's a questionnaire time. Like, if you people have any questions on what is Java or what are the features of Java, so you can ask that. Or if you have any other questions, also you can ask. Okay, what is the difference between function and method? Arey, yeah, that's an interesting question. Why Java is developed? Okay, so function and wait, no, like function and method, like both are same in the sense. If you people know Python, how the functions are being processed, or what is the role of a function in Python, the same only. Like there will be calling it as a function. Here we'll be calling it as a method. That's it. Method is something like similar to function. Okay. Okay. Ma'am, can I run a class without creating their object? Yeah, obviously you can run a class without creating an object. Okay, and objects are actually created in order to access the methods of a particular class. For example, let's say I'm going to have a student class. Okay, I know if you people are very beginner in Java, you could not understand whatever I'm saying, but just have the basic idea in your mind, so that whenever we are seeing the thing, I'll be explaining it in a more clear way. Okay, so for example, I'm going to write a student class. Okay, and yeah, student class I'm going to write, and another class main I'm going to write. So if I want to access the methods means functions, or the properties or some attributes of the student class in my main class, means I want to create an object for student class. Because I mean, for a particular class, okay, if you're going to access one class method or attributes into another class, we have to just create an object. Only with the help of objects we'll be able to access the methods of that particular class. Okay, but the thing here is, even you can write the main method inside a class itself. Like, I'll be telling you, in student class itself you can define the attributes. Okay, you can give the methods, and you can also write the main method in the student class itself. That time it's not necessary to create an object, so we can have situations like that. Okay, um, can you give more clarity what is the difference between function and method? The function methods are quite similar, because how we'll be using the functions in Python. Yeah, if you want to, if you want to call a functionality repeatedly 10 times, you'll be putting it in a loop and you'll be calling the function, right? So the same only we are going to use in Java. We'll be telling it as a method, and obviously function returns some value in Python. Obviously method returns some value in Python, and in function, like I mean, function and methods both are same actually. Okay, yeah. Okay. Method is invoked explicitly, and it is mainly used to expose. Method is invoked explicitly, okay, and it is mainly used to expose the behavior of an object. I mean, I'm not sure about what's your question, Soumya. I mean, could you be more clear on your question? Can we need some specific knowledge for this, or we could start from? Can we need some specific knowledge for this? For what, or we should start from scratch? For what you're asking, I mean, it's official, because do you want any resources, or are you asking about how to learn Java? Why Java is developed? Like seriously, like I think that time they might be having some, like, and actually, like Java is an object-oriented programming language where everything will be in like in terms of classes and objects. I don't think that time, like C is now also it's a structured language. I think in order to create some language with which we can use the concept of classes and objects, they might have developed, but I'm not sure about why Java was developed. Okay, and in Java we don't have the concept of pointers and all. Okay. Hmm. What about data structure? Oh, I mean, in the sense, is data structure a new name for you? Okay. For example, let's say data structures are very, very important thing. Like, I don't know how many people are college students. Like, if you are going to sit for your interviews, like data structures plays a very, very important role. Okay. because data structures are something like it is a kind of containers or a uh, I mean like place where we are going to store the values. Okay, store the values, or we'll be seeing about the data structures. Okay, there are various data structures like stack, queue, okay, tree, graph, heap, and all those things. Obviously, those are, I mean, like here we'll be seeing what is Java. With the help of Java as a programming language, you could implement all those data structures. Okay, so when like we'll be seeing the collections framework, we'll be seeing the data structures like stack, queue, and all. Okay, there are many real-time examples where these data structures is being used. For example, let me tell. Here itself, we are using data structure. So I mean, you people are able to see my tab, right? If I'm clicking, if I'm adding a new tab, means it's getting added. So here, the concept of stack is being used. Stack means it's something like uh, uh, stack is something like this. Mm, data structure in the sense you're going to store the values. Okay, so I mean, don't mind whether it's a straight line or not, but if I'm going to tell it as a stack, yes, in the sense you see it in this example. Okay, so okay, the element which is present at the top of the stack, okay, it is known as here it is known as the top of the stack. Okay, and in Java we can retrieve the element which is present at the top of the stack with the function peek. Okay, and here let's say I'm going to add some browsers, right? So here this StreamYard browser will be here. Okay, so this time this will be my top element of the stack, and when I'm adding a new tab, this top will be I mean a new tab will be added to the stack, and this becomes the top element. Okay, so similarly, so even here we'll be using the here they are using the concept of stack, and in real time examples they are using the concept of data structures and algorithms. So whenever you're going for any interviews, people are just going to see your expertise or your logic building capacity with the help of these data structures and algorithms only. For example, they will be providing you many scenario based questions like for example, yeah, the same question, and they'll be asking you which data structure can be used here. Okay, so please start practicing in platforms like Lead Code and all, because that helps a lot. In order to solve those problems with the help of data structure, you can use Java. Okay, please don't say okay. Ma'am, best channel for learn DSA and Java simultaneously from scratch. Okay, okay. So I don't know how many people will use this, but I promise that like it helped me a lot. So how many people have heard about Stiver? Can you send Zoom meeting link? Okay, so Stiver's DSA sheet, like it's very very helpful. You can and you can also search the channel Take You Forward. And because I think for me it helped me a lot. Okay, because he used to explain it in both C++ as well as in Java code, and also he makes the approach very simpler. Okay, so you can follow Take You Forward YouTube channel, and for DSA sheets there are many Stiver sheets which is being available. Okay, um yeah, that depends on that's a different context. Like, okay, so it's quiz time, so you people can answer this. Why Java is an object-oriented programming language? Like, you people can put it in the chat window. Okay, so sweet of you. Okay, so guys, come on. You can put it in the chat window. Like, why Java is an object-oriented programming language? I mean, don't go through any LLMs in order to find the answers. Just let the answers be your. be something from your own understanding. Okay. And guys, like with the help of Java you can also build projects. Okay, because we do have many things here. Okay. uh, you can build products also by using Java. But nowadays many people are using like Node and Django in order to build projects. But also we can build products in Java. For your understanding, I'm telling you can use Spring Boot for its backend and all those things. Okay. Yeah, because robust. Yeah, cool. Okay, because all the Java program is written inside class. Yeah, yeah, you are right. Guys, come on. Like if it's wrong, also it's nothing. Okay, just it's a place for us to learn only. Ma'am, Java have the feature that write once and run multiple times. It's not write once and run write multiple times. It's actually WORA, write once and run anywhere. Okay, means only one time it is required to write a particular Java code. For example, you're going to build any product. Okay, uh, for example, let's say you're going to build any product. Okay, so that time when multiple developers are working and different OSs are there, it's enough like to write the code only once and you can run it in any platforms, any operating system. So that is actually the meaning of that. Okay? Because maintainable and adaptable. Okay. And guys, I just want to know, it's out of the context, like how many people are like college students and how many people are preparing for any interview kind of stuffs. Because uh, I mean, I don't remember the name, but some of you are quite interested in knowing about the data structures, right? So obviously, we'll be seeing some algorithms or some approaches in order to solve, okay, by using Java. Don't worry, okay, because I'm more obsessed with DSA, so that's it. Because Java follows multi-threading concepts, okay. Cool, thank you guys. Like, you're very active in the class. Okay. So you people are correct. All your answers are correct. Okay, because we do have everything written inside a class, and the instances of a class is what is meant by an object. The methods which is present inside a class can only be retrieved or called with the help of an object. Okay, and now it's time for us to learn more about JVM, JRE, and JDK. Okay, and one thing I want to make it clear: the all the three things. It is actually the concept behind like how a Java program is being converted into bytecode and how the result is being fetched to us. Because the Java code which we are writing is a high level language, right? So it is being converted into an assembly language, and assembly language. I think you people know assembly language. In assembly language, we'll be having mnemonics and the code instructions. Okay, and that assembly language is converted into binary language in the sense zeros and ones, which only the computer can understand the binary language. And again, the computation or the logic which we have written in our Java code is being computed, and the output is again fetched to us in the form of high level language. Okay, so JVM, JRE, and JDK are the tools in order to run a Java file. And one more thing, like if you are going to create, like there are various platforms where you can run a Java code. Like if you're, it's a very traditional approach, like writing it in a notepad, writing Java code in a notepad, and saving the file by using .java extension, and then going to the command prompt, like compiling it with the help of Java C command, all those things. Okay, either you can go with online compiler, or if you're going to create any projects or low level design kind of stuffs. I think you people are aware of what do you mean by low level designs. Okay, low level design or system design. Okay, it's something like building some console based applications kind of thing, like a simple like hotel management system or IRCTC ticket booking system. Everything you can like create with the help of Java and OOPS concepts. Okay, if you are going to build those kind of projects, means you can go with IDEs. Okay, integrated development environments like Eclipse or IntelliJ. Okay, I think IntelliJ works fine, but I use Eclipse. If you're going to just put any coding, like if you're going for practice means, you can use online compiler, because whenever we are using it in Notepad, I know it doesn't make sense, because Notepad we don't have any indentation things and all. So JVM, JRE, and JDK are the things, are the substances or the entities which like helps us to know how a Java code runs. Okay, so Java virtual machine, it is the important thing which runs a Java code. Whenever you're writing a file, it is named as .java. Okay, uh, I'll be showing you the thing .java, and after compilation, it will be converted into bytecode, in the terms of bytecode file .class file. Okay, that class file is only computed, and we'll be getting the results. So Java virtual machine is something which it actually searches for the main method in your Java code. Okay, and in a Java code, only a main method can be present, and usually the main method only the JVM actually searches. From that main method only, the logic which you have written is being compiled, and it's being checked by going through certain functions if you used anything in your main method. Okay, so JVM is, it provides an runtime environment kind of thing, where the Java bytecode file can be executed, and in your Java code it actually checks for the main method. Okay, so if you are not having main method in your Java code, the JVM cannot find it. Okay, as the name suggests, it's a virtual machine. It really doesn't exist. In the sense, for JRE and all, you'll be able to see the library packages which is being you'll be able to see the library packages, JRE library packages, and JDK development toolkits when you are going to install Java in your system. You'll be able to witness it. But JVM will not be able to witness it, because it doesn't exist in the form of packages or libraries. But it paves the way in order to run a Java code by finding the main method in your Java code and executing the bytecode file. So I hope it makes sense. And the main four things which Java virtual machine performs it loads the code, it verifies whether you have provided, it verifies with the libraries which you have imported, okay, and all these things. And it executes the code, and also it provides a runtime environment in order to execute your file. Okay, so I think you people have some idea about what a JVM is. We'll be seeing more detailing of the architecture of JVM, because the JVM, it's a very important thing. Okay, again, in interview point of view, if you say Java, they'll be asking you to rate yourself up to a scale of 1 to 10, and if obviously you are telling it somewhere 8 or 9, I'm sorry, okay, 7 to 9, they'll be testing you with the advanced concepts like multi-threading. Or if you're telling something like 4 to 5, they're just going to ask you the basics, and JVM is one of the very important question, because you have to know how a JVM works. If you say you know Java, okay. So yeah, and JRE. So we said like JVM is kind of a machine, which virtual machine which actually runs our code, right? Execution part is carried out only with the help of JVM. JRE and JDK are like the supporting tools in order to make the JVM to work. Okay, so JRE, we can witness JRE, it physically exists, and these are the set of libraries and the other files. For example, let's take a scenario where in my Java code, I have imported some of the libraries. Okay, so when it is being executed or when it is being checked, it actually goes and it fetches the required libraries from JRE packages, and then only it is being used. For example, in order to use collections framework and all, I want to use util library. Okay, and we are having many libraries. Okay, so yeah, the thing is, whenever you are going to import any libraries, it will be checked. So JRE is nothing but there a set of libraries will be provided for you, and the same, it is used to provide an environment to run your file. Yeah, and it physically exists. So I'll be showing you what you mean by JRE. Okay, so this is an Eclipse IDE. Okay, and guys, I just want to know how many people you people know about what is Hacktoberfest. So yeah, I think you people are able to see here. These are the Java runtime environment system library. Okay, so here a set of libraries will be present. Okay, java.sql. For example, if you're going to use some SQL kind of things in your code, obviously you'll be importing it. Okay, you'll be importing the java.sql library. So that time when your interpreter sees it, okay, uh, sorry, when your compiler sees it, it goes to the JRE and it finds this library. Okay, we do have many libraries. Okay, so this is the JRE libraries. Okay, this we'll be able to witness. So that's why they are telling it as, they're calling it as it physically exists. Okay, yeah. And next is the JDK. JDK in the sense it actually provides tools, the development tools in order to run your Java based applications, like even if you're going to use any applets or servlets kind of things, Java development kit tools will help you to run those kind of tasks. Okay, and yeah, um, yeah. So JRE is nothing but it is JVM plus the library set. I have shown you the libraries, right, which is present in JRE. Uh, combining both only, we'll be calling it as JRE. Okay. Whereas whenever you are going to see JDK, JRE plus the development tools which we are going to use. So JDK also exists. The thing which exists virtually is the JVM, and JRE supports JVM by providing the certain libraries, and JDK, Java Development Kit, it helps in order to, it helps by providing tools in order to make your JVM to run your Java file. Okay, I think it makes sense. So people are clear with, are you having any basic understanding of the things? Okay. Prepare for interview. Okay. Okay. Because okay, cool. Next class is tomorrow. Yeah, great, Ayush. You're correct. JRE means Java Runtime Environment. Okay, it's not evaluation. It's not kits. Yeah, it's kit. Okay, because in Java, any real problem can be solved using. Okay. Okay, so people, just acknowledge in the chat whether are you people clear with the basic understanding of what is JVM, JRE, and JDK. It's nothing but you're just you're just making your code to compile, interpret, and give you the correct result, and you have to know how actually it is being done by your system, right? So that's why JIT, just in time compare only, right? I'll be explaining you when we are seeing it in the JVM architecture. I'll be explaining you what is meant by just in time compiler. Okay, okay, Rohit. Okay, guys. Yeah, I want others also to acknowledge whether you people are clear with these three things. JIT is just in time compiler, and that we'll be seeing it next. Okay. Just in time compiler is actually used when during the execution of your compiled file. Okay, so and it is something like just in time compiler, it is used in order to optimize things. I'll be telling you guys, only Rohit and it's official, like they are active. What about others? If you are finding difficulty in understanding also, you can tell me so that I'll repeat it again. And here it's the place to learn. Okay, it's nothing like even I know everything. Like if you people know anything means you can also tell me. When will explain backend? Backend I'm not going to explain yet because here we'll be seeing only about the programming language Java and the concepts which Java has, and I'll be telling you about the data structures thing. of how to implement certain data structures using Java, and we'll also be seeing certain like algorithm and approaches to solve a coding problem. For example, we do have certain things like bucket algorithm. I don't know whether you people have heard all these things. So, and like I'll be telling you all these approaches. Spring Boot resources. I use the thing is I don't know Spring Boot. Even I don't know Java Spring Boot. For backend, like I used to work with Node. In Hindi, I think most of them are okay with English, and also I'm not that much pro in Hindi. Okay, guys. So next we'll be seeing how JVM works. Okay. So we'll be having the three important parts when we come to see about JVM. First is the loader components or the class loader subsystem. Okay. So there, as I have already said, the three processes being carried out: loading loads the code, and the verification of the code. Code in the sense, I mean the Java file or the the code which you have written in your Java file. Okay, and initialization in the sense, I mean, like the variables for which you have given some constants values, it will be assigned. Okay, I mean, these are first I'll be telling you as an overall view, and I'll be explaining you in a very clear manner. Okay. And in the runtime data area, like we are just going to store the addresses of the methods or the variables or the like the class, all these things. We'll be just storing all these things in an area, and also in the stack area we are going to like have a runtime, have our stack. I said no, what is the meaning of stack? So there will be in the like stack area we'll be having each and every operations which is to be done, and that is actually known as a record. PC registers, I'll be telling you. Execution engine. So after all these steps is being carried out, only it comes to the execution engine, and here only will be I mean the Java code will be executed. Okay. So yeah, first will be first dot class file. Okay. So whenever you are going to save your file, you'll be saving it only as dot Java file. Okay. So this .java file will be converted into a class file. Okay, class file in this sense, the Java code will be converted into bytecode here itself. Sorry, I mean the bytecode. So this .class file will be sent to the first will be initially it will be sent to the loader subsystem. Why it is sent to the loader subsystem? Because as I've already said, the libraries which have been imported, it has to be loaded in order to use the methods or I mean the methods which is present in that particular library, right? For example, if you are going to import .util library, and you're going to you have used any method which that library contains, obviously the library has to be loaded, then only that methods which is present in that library will be able to use it in our code, right? So first thing, it loads. Okay, loads the entire code. So in the bootstrap class loader, the API classes and the files which is present in the directory, uh, in the directory, I mean Java home, like wait. Okay, so bootstrap class loader, what it does is, first of all, loading in the sense we are just going to load certain classes and library files which is present in the JRE. Okay, so bootstrap class loader, it loads the files which is present in the directory Java home. Okay, the files which is present in the home directory will be loaded initially, and next the in the extension class loader. Okay, uh, the files which is present in this directory will be getting loaded. JRE here library files. All the library files will be getting loaded. Okay, and when you come to see about the application class loader part, so that time one second. Sorry guys. Um, Actually, Sandeep, JVM is platform dependent. I'll be telling you. Okay. Yeah. Um, so in the application class loader, the files in the directory, I mean, the class files will be getting loaded. Okay. The class and the files which is present in Java path, it will be getting loading. So the in the loading area or in the loading context, all these files and the libraries which is present in these three directories will be getting loaded. Okay, and next thing is the linking. In the linking process, all the verification of the libraries which you have imported, okay, and all these verifications will be done, and your code will be prepared, okay, after importing and after integrating all the required libraries. Your code will be verified and your code will be prepared for next process. And next, in the initialization process, okay, in the initialization process, so you might have used some static variables, okay, and you might have assigned some constant values to the static variables. All these static variables constant will, I mean, all this sorry, constant variable, constant values. Okay, for example, I'm going to say static a is equal to 5. Okay, uh, static int a is equal to 5. Okay, so static is a keyword. We'll be seeing what is meant by static. Okay, usually we'll be using the static keyword only in abstract classes. Okay, and when it comes to the variable point of view, we'll also be seeing what is meant by variable. Okay, don't worry. So I'm going to assign the variable a to the value 5, okay, and it is a static variable. Static variable in the sense, only when the class is initially created, the value will be stored in that particular variable. So only once the value 5 will be assigned to a, okay, and again the initialization will not be done. So those kind of initialization will be carried out, or for the variables where you have applied constant values, or the global variables where you have assigned some values, can be of any data type, that initialization process will be carried out. So this is the thing which is done in the loaded subsystem. Okay, and next, when you come to see about the runtime data area, so this is the place where we are going to next thing is runtime data area. So this is the place where you are going to store the address of, the information about the method, the contents of the method means, sorry, it's not method. You are going to store the information about the class, okay, whether it's a parent class or it's a child class or the methods which is present in a particular class. the attributes which is being present in a particular class, all these things you'll be storing it in method area. Okay, so method area, it actually contains the addresses and the information about the class, its attributes, and the methods which the class has. In the heap area only, you will be storing all the uh, memory address of your variables. Okay, so if you're going to say int a is equal to 5, int b is equal to 5, this b, the b will be intimated to 5 and it will be stored in some memory address in the heap area. Okay, in stack area, okay, stack, I have said about what is a stack. Okay, in stack you will be actually storing the instructions which is to be executed, the next instructions which is to be executed in that particular method. You will be having that pointer in your stack. Okay, so usually I have said about, I have said about multi-threading. Okay, so thread is a smallest unit of a process, and every time only one thread is what to say, one thread is run in a particular process. Okay, only when a thread gets destroyed, we'll be going to another thread, will be getting into the running state. Okay, so we'll be there are lifetime of a thread. So when a thread is being initialized and how it is there are various states like runnable, and then it will be getting into the running state, and then when the thread enters into the kill state or its final state, and then only the next thread will be getting run. So all the thread information will be stored in a stack area. Okay, and in the PC registers, obviously all the memory addresses of all these threads will be stored in the form of register. And native stack method, it is actually used in order to run your native libraries. Okay, and when all the details about your method, all your details about your method, class, the attributes, your variables, like address, the instructions, the loop of instructions of next instructions, what is to be run, or I think it is correct in order to call it as next threads which is to be run. It will be stored in stack area, and the PC registers, it is used to store the memory addresses. After all these processes is done, next only it comes to the execution engine. Okay, next is it comes to the execution engine. So interpreter, Java is an interpreted language. So I think if people are clear about what is meant by an interpreted language. Okay, for example, I'm going to write 5 lines of code. Just assume compiler means at a single um, run, what it does is the compiler will be first going through all the entire file, and then only the error will be erased. Like you'll be having error at line 1, or you'll be having error at line 2 as well, line 3 as well. Okay, but in terms of interpreter, what interpreter does is, in order to find whether your program is in order to execute your program, it actually works line by line. Okay, so first it goes to line 1, it checks whether if any error is being present, any error in the sense, it could be kind of any syntax or logical errors which is being present. If syntax error is present, obviously the error message is being thrown. It is not like compare, like entire code is being processed and then only the error message is being done, prompted to the user. No, line by line, if you have any errors, line by line the execution happens, and that is the specialty of how an interpreter works. Okay, and people, are you getting what I'm saying? Am I making things clear? Okay, threading and multi-threading, I'll be telling you. Multi-threading in the sense, like it's not threading. Multi-threading means we'll be having different threads. Okay, and also we can run different threads simultaneously also. And yeah, multi-threading is an important concept whenever you're preparing in interview point of view. Okay, and yeah, and here comes the JIT compiler, which I think Rohit asked. So just-in-time compiler. Okay, for example, let's take a scenario where I'm having a function square root. Okay. I'm having a function square root. Okay. I'm having a function square root, and yeah, what I'm doing is I'm having 1,000 lines of code. Okay, and I have used square root function 50 times or 100 times. Okay, 100 times, not like not I'm not going to use the square root function in a very sequential manner. Like for example, let's say I'm going to use the square root function line number 1, then I'm going to use it in line number 10 and 12, 13. I mean like this, okay? But as a whole, I'm going to use the square root function for 100 times, and yeah, my code contains 1,000 lines, let's say. Okay, so whenever like in line number 1, I have used square root function in this sense. The interpreter comes here. Okay. The entire definition of the square root method which you have written will be processed line by line. Okay. And then if you're going to put the square root of 25 means this result will be 5, right? It will be checked. And again in line number 13, again you are going to write, you're going to call the method square root. It again goes here. Okay, let's say here it contains some mm, three lines of code. Okay, 3 lines of code. Okay, again the 3 lines of code is being checked. Okay, and again in line number 15 you're going to use square root in this sense. Again it's going to check. So for 100 times, whenever your square root function, your square root method is being called, 100 times the block in the sense the lines of code which is being returned inside a method is called as block. So 100 times the block of that particular square root function will be executed line by line. In order to prevent this, what we are going to do is, so first time I have like a notice square root method is being called. So I'll be like the interpreter will execute the square root function line by line, and it will be stored in just in time compiler. Okay, and it will be stored. First of all, initially, whenever I'm going to notice a new method is being called in the code, it will be executed line by line. The block will be executed and it will be stored in the JIT compiler. Okay. And another time, okay, whenever in my 13th line I'm seeing the same function, it doesn't go to the square root method in my main method. I mean in my code, what it does is it goes to the just-in-time compiler and it checks whether already the function has been called initially or not. So from there, it takes the reference. Okay. Again, when the 15th in the 15th line the function is called, it directly goes and check in the JIT compiler whether a reference is made to that square root function, because it will not go and execute the block of square root function again. So this is the use of just-in-time compiler, and I think Rohit, I made you clear. Okay, and garbage collector in the sense whenever a variable, okay, whenever the scope of a variable comes to an end, you are going to dereference it, and you don't need to worry about a garbage collector because Java does it on its own. Whereas in C++ or C, you will be using free pointer in order to dereference a variable. Okay, and native method interface and native method libraries are actually the supporting systems in order to load and in order to implement your native libraries thing. So this is all about JVM architecture. So yeah, now it's the question time. So people, if you have any questions, you can ask me, or if I want to. Why is garbage collection important in JVM? In the sense, like, see, for example, I'm going to use a variable A. Okay, this garbage collector, what it does is in C or C++, if you people know, we are going to use free pointer in order to dereference a variable. Whereas I said Java does it on its own with the help of garbage collector, which is present inside JVM. So whenever I'm going to use a variable, and for example, I'm going to use a variable inside the square root function. Okay. that is in local scope, I'm going to use that particular variable. I'll not be able to access. I mean, once that scope is over, okay, whenever I'm trying to access a variable outside its scope, it will be pointing the error, right? So that will be catched it by the garbage collector itself. So once a variable loses its scope, okay, or once the lifetime of variable is over, obviously it gets dereferenced by the garbage collector, which is present in JVM. Whereas whenever you are coming to in the concept of C and C++, we'll be using a free pointer. Okay, but here automatically it has been done by the garbage collector. Okay, best place for learning advanced Java. I'm not sure because only I'm sure about DSA thing and Java. You can you can read it from various resource materials. Understood. Okay. Confusion about a compiler and interpreter. Like, see, compiler and interpreter, it is actually used in order to execute your code. Okay. What it does is, compiler, if you're giving 1,000 lines of code in the sense, at a single run, the entire 1,000 lines of code is being executed, and then only the errors or for example, if your code contains any syntax or logical errors, that time only after executing complete file only the errors will be prompted to you. But interpreter is not like that. It goes checks line by line, and if in the first line itself your code has any error, the execution is going to stop, and the error will be prompted to you. Okay, that is the difference between Bootstrap loader. Sure. So in Bootstrap loader, what will be the files, the API classes files, which is present in the home directory, it will be getting loaded in the Bootstrap loader file. Okay. Um, Getting a multiple. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for the question, Sandeep. Uh, Java is platform independent. It follows like a WARA rule, like write once and run anywhere. So if I'm going to, write my code once, I can use it anywhere. But JVM is platform dependent. Okay, because for each operating system, there will be a different JVM. Okay, but the beauty here is whatever Java code you're going to put, the JVM it adapts to that particular Java code, and the output you will be getting it in your system, in your any operating system which you're going to use. So because each OS will be having its own JVM, its own virtual machine in order to process that particular Java code. I mean, in order to process the class file. So that's the beauty here, and obviously, like Java is platform independent, whereas JVM is platform dependent. The JVM which I'm going to use in my Windows OS will be different, and JVM which I'm going to use it in my Mac will be different. So, okay, okay, you know that. Okay, okay, guys. So, I mean, uh, uh, can you people tell what is the latest version of JDK, Java Development Kit? The latest version of Java Development Kit. You can like put the answer in chat window. 23, 21. It's not 23, but 21 and 23 are very close to the answer. 23. Okay. Java 23. Okay. Where everybody can answer. Okay. J 23. Okay, cool. 23.0.1. Shivam, you are very, very accurate in your answer. Like, I don't know this much. Okay. Because, like, when I have seen in my last this thing, no, like, it was Java 22, and that's why I didn't change the PDF, I mean, PPT here. It's 23. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, how's the Josh? Are you people tired, or can we go to the coding part now? Because a lot of, like, theory stuffs you have heard, it could be boring. I know because I have downloaded recently, means today. Oh, great, Shiva. Okay, okay. So, people like you can like code with me parallelly. Okay. For easy convenience, I'm going with on and compile because I don't think it will be able, like to spend the time in Java installation. You people can install Java on your own. Josh is high, ma'am. Thank you, Shivam. It's very, like, yeah, it's giving me high energy in order to take the sessions. Thank you for that. Guys, it's not like kind of like a very strict section session and all. You can use any emojis or anything, like, okay, but when we are dealing with the concept, just pay some attention. If you're not getting it, just tell me. I'll be repeating it n number of times also. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so people, you can install Java in your own system. Okay, and I think here very curious ones are here, and Shivam has done only today. If you have, I mean, like, you people can download Java on your own. Either you can use Eclipse IDE or IntelliJ IDE. Okay, you people can go with IntelliJ Community Edition. You can download. Um I'll be teaching you with the online Java compiler. Okay. Okay. So first of all, we'll be seeing how a Java code looks. Okay. So this is the structure of a simple hello world program. So as I have already said, okay, we are going to write even a simple print statement. We are going to write only inside a class. Okay. So here it is. I have used the Eclipse IDE. So people, just let me know in the chat, okay, how many people are using Eclipse or IntelliJ, because then I'll be telling you how your file structure must be in order to create a new Java class file if you don't know. Okay, so first I want to create a package. Okay, so I have created a package, and inside package only I'll be able to have many class files, Java class files. Okay, and here I have written it in public class simple hello. And one more thing. Okay, okay. So whenever you're using public class main, in the sense, your file name must be main.java only. If you're going to use public class main, your file name must be the name of the class. Okay, if you're going to use the public keyword. If you're simply going to use class main, means you can have any name dot java. Okay, whenever you're going to specifically mention public before the class, here we'll be telling public as an access modifier. Okay, um, you are supposed to use your file name and your class name must be same, and it is case sensitive. You cannot have something like small m here. Okay, it says like it cannot like fetch the result. Okay, so this is a thing which you have to keep a note. Okay. Yeah. So I'm having a simple class, simple hello, and inside here I'm going to write inside the main method. This is the main method, and my main method will always be having this syntax only: public static void main, and I'll be explaining you what are these things here. So you'll be getting an idea of what all those things, and inside this we'll be putting a simple print statement. Okay. Okay. So public is the access modifier. Okay, access modifier in the sense this main method, it's a method. Okay, this main method, this is the method name. Main is the method name, and if I'm giving public here means I can access the main method from anywhere. Public in the sense, so we do have four different access modifiers in Java: public, protected, private, and default. So if you're not putting anything, it means it's default. If you're putting public, you'll be able to access it anywhere. Okay, from anywhere in the sense, if my this main method is in form.my practice package. Okay, if I'm having another package sample, from there also I'll be able to access this main method, the attributes. Okay, which is present here. Okay, if I'm going to use private, it will be kind of like very secured method. We will be able to only access it inside the class. Okay, so there are things like that. So public is the access modifier which makes the method accessible from anywhere. Okay, and one more thing I have already said, whenever the JVM is going to execute your Java file, it actually checks for your main method. It actually checks. It actually sorry. Oh, it actually checks for this main method. Okay, if you're giving it actually checks for your main method. Okay, JVM checks for your main method. If you are giving public only, when the JVM is trying to access the main method, it will be able to find. You cannot. If you are giving private main method, means what the JVM does know, the machine will actually try to find the main method in your file. But if you are giving private, the JVM will not be able to access this main method. Okay, so only if you give public, your main method will be able to be accessed by JVM, then only your code runs. Okay, and static. Okay, static in the sense, for example, you are having a class student. Okay, you're having a class student. Okay, and if you want to access the methods and the attributes, which is methods and attributes which is present inside the class, inside another class name, class main and main method. Okay, public static void main method. You want to create the object of a class. Object of the class will be created by using class name. Object one is the object name is equal to new student. Don't worry, we'll be seeing the meaning of this in our upcoming classes. So here student will be the class name, object will be my object name, new is the keyword in order to create a new object. Okay, student will be here, it is known as a constructor. We'll be seeing all the concepts, don't worry. Okay, but whenever this is known as the instance. So object one is the instance of this student class, but if we are using static here, okay, then okay, so if you are using static here, then the object will not be it's not required in order to create an instance of that particular class. In the sense, if you're going to use the static keyword here, in order to access the methods which is present in that particular class, it's not needed. You want to create a new object or the instance. Directly, you can call the method name. Okay. So that's why we are going with static. Okay. Void in the sense nothing. Void means nothing. So whenever you're going to write a method, this is the main method. Whenever you're going to write the method, you'll be following three things. Okay. No, three things. One is the access modifier. Okay. Access modifier. Next is the return type. Sorry, guys. So whenever you are going to write a method, access modifier, okay, will be your first thing. Next the return type. What data type your function is going to return, and the method name, and if you're going to pass any parameters inside or arguments. Okay, so here what they have given public, yeah, static, it's your like your decision or your thing if you're going to create a static method or not. Here return type is void because my method is not even going to return anything. Okay, so it is simply void. If I'm going to return anything like int means in main, int main, like I'll be providing some block of statements, and at the end of my function I have to return some integer value. If I'm not returning any integer value means it will be throwing error because I have said my main method is going to return a data type which is of int. If I'm not going to return anything, then it throws the error. Okay, so void means nothing. Main is the method name. String arguments in the sense, so here it is the, I mean, it is like an array of strings. So if you want to pass the input in command line arguments, in the sense command line arguments means I have already said a very traditional approach in order to write a Java program is like writing the code in a notepad, compiling it, and in the command prompt while compiling you will be able to provide the inputs there itself. So that inputs whichever you are going to provide for your particular code, like it will be taken as a array of strings. So those arguments it will be given in the command line itself. Command line, right? I think you people are well aware of the commands and the git things. So you're going to pass the inputs in terms of command line. So that's why it is known as command line arguments. That is the meaning of the string arguments. Okay, and here this is the thing which we'll be going to use for printing a particular thing. System.out.println. It's something like in Python we'll be using print. In C++ we'll be using cout. No, so this is the syntax. This is the context which is to be printed. Okay. So people are clear with how a Java code looks. Garbage collection, that is finalized method. Java handles reallocation for us. Okay, thank you, Shivam. Eclipse. Okay, I'll be telling you. Ma'am, I actually using the VS Code and NetBeans ID. Yeah, Shivam. Okay, that's completely fine. You can also use VS Code because VS Code, no, it supports many things, right? Okay, any ID you can use. But the thing is, you have to code it using Java. Thank you, Soumya. I think you're giving more information. Thank you. Okay. Tell me, Shivam. String arguments in the sense like usually whenever we are doing the coding stuff, whenever we are doing something, it will not be, like we won't be using, I mean, we won't be giving input in the command line and all. Okay. But if you are going to give the input in the command line itself, it is known as command line arguments. Okay, so that command line arguments, it must the input whichever you are providing in the command line must be stored in some data structure, right? So that's why I mean it is stored in an array of strings data type. So if in command line you're going to give the input as 1, 2, 3 means it will be stored as 1. Sorry, string only, string 1, 2, 3, and then we'll be getting processed. Okay, so this is how. Can you show some example? Like I haven't practiced like I haven't used command line arguments yet, but I'll let you know tomorrow. Like tomorrow I'll be showing you a demo. Okay, usually we will not be using command line arguments and all, just in order to if you're going to use it, it's something, a concept, that's it. If you are going to give input with the help of command line arguments means we'll be able to use it. But sure, I'll be showing an example tomorrow because I forgot it when I started learning Java only. I have, it's not it's just a simple code. Yeah, so it's only one time I have used it. Then like I used to solve Java only for solving competitive programming questions. Okay, in lead code only I used to solve, and I used Java only for that. Even for like creating software products and all, I'll be going with Monstack. So, but if you people have curiosity on to learn Java Spring Boot for backend and all these things, you can go with it. But I don't know. Mm, okay. So next thing I'll be telling you Eclipse. So whenever you're downloading Eclipse, you'll be seeing here. Okay, it's your again. Here you'll be able to see JRE system library and source. In the source folder only, you'll be creating various things. Okay, so in source I have all these things. So first of all, I want to create a new package. New package. The package name, it could be com.octanet. Okay. Okay, so I have created a new package. Here I have to create a new Java class. You can either create a class or an interface. I'll be telling you what is an interface. So for now, I'll be creating a Java class. Okay, so my class name will be, what can we put? Sample. Okay, so here I have, see, my class is public class. So obviously my file name as well as my class name will be the same. Okay, now I'll be giving the main method, public static void main string args, and then system dot out dot println hey all, welcome to first session. Okay, so in order to execute the code, all shift and X, run Java application. Okay, the output will be prompted here. Hey all, welcome to first session. Okay, so or also you can for running your code, you can also right click, you select run as Java application, then you proceed, and you'll be getting the output. Okay, and one more thing, in Java for single line comments we'll be using double slash. Okay, so print statements, and if you want to give multi-line comments, it's slash star star slash. Okay, you can give many comments like okay, the comments thing. And one more thing, like see, if I'm going to give we have two things here, print and print ln. Okay, so if I'm going to give print ln, and another thing I will be giving print out dot print ln Java. Okay, if I'm giving print ln, it's something like print new line. Okay, so it will be printed here. In separate lines, the thing will be getting printed. See, if I'm giving print here, everything will be printed in the same line. Print ln means if I'm giving print ln, this statement will be getting printed and the control will be moving to next line. Okay, if I'm giving just print, it won't be moving to the next line. And here else the output will be, hey all, welcome to first session. Will be getting printed, and the pointer will be going to the next line, and in next line Java will be printed. Okay, cool. Guys, like you work with me parallelly. I know it is a very, very simple thing. printing the print statement. Okay, next. Can we go for data types and variables? So is my session boring, or do you want? Do you have any feedbacks to be given? Feedbacks in the sense just a simple feedback like you are fast or you are not able to understand anything. Also, you can let me know. And let's take a small break. Good. Thank you. Guys, come on, house the Josh and people who are having Eclipse, you can put the simple like print statement. Very interesting. Thank you, Vaibhav. So just for a couple of minutes, let's take a very small break, and then we'll be going to see what is meant by data types and variables. So people, and if you have any, like people who are going to use online component, it will be very easy. Here also, see here the class name is main, and here the file name is main.java. Okay, it's something to say that whenever you are giving your classes a public one, the file name and your class name must be same. Okay, if you are facing any doubts or issues related to the Eclipse or IntelliJ ID, you can let me know in the chat itself. Okay, so people are clear with the concepts. What we have seen now, are you clear with all the things? Only Om, okay. And Vaibhav are active, and Shivam also. What about others? Sandeep, okay. Okay. So next, we'll see about data types and variables. So already in my, previous things I have told you about variable, right? So what do you mean by variable? Variable is something. It's a kind of the place where you're going to store some values. Okay. For example, I'm going to give a is equal to 5 means I'm going to store the value of 5 in a place or in I'm going to point my value to a particular thing where I'll be calling it as a variable. Okay, it's a place to store my values. Data types in the sense what and all type of values you can store. Okay, so I'm going to store some data to a particular place. I'm going to point my data to a variable, and my data can be of different type, right? So we can have a number, or we can have some kind of sentences. We can have some kind of special characters. We can have some kind of decimal numbers. So these are the different data types which we'll be storing in our programming thing also, because there are various data types like string, character, then integer, okay, then float, double, short, byte, and much more things. Boolean, okay. Boolean means it's either true or false. So I'm going to store some data to a place. It's known as a variable, okay. And what type of data I'm going to store? It's known as data types. Okay. So in data types, in Java, we'll be having two different data types. We'll be having two categories like primitive and non-primitive. Okay. So in primitive, we do have numeric type and non-numeric type. So non-numeric type is Boolean. In Boolean, we'll be storing either true or false. Okay. In character, we are going to store only a single character, and only one byte will be allocated for storing a particular character. For example, the character is being enclosed, the character value, the character data is being enclosed by single quotes. So I'll be storing one, it's a character. It's not a character. It will be treated as a string. Okay, so I think I'll be writing it here. You can give anything like yeah, it is a character, or one, it is a character. It must be enclosed in a single quotes, and only one like one character must be there. If you're giving 1.28, it's not like if you're giving 1.28, it's not a character, because here we have uh, 4 digits, right? So it's being considered like that only. Okay. And if you're going to give double quotes, one double quotes means it will be treated as a string, because string is being enclosed by double quotes and character will be enclosed by single quotes. Okay. And boolean means true or false. Okay. And whenever you are coming to say about numeric type, we do have integer and floating point. Floating point is decimal. In math we'll be calling it as decimal, which have a decimal point. Okay. And float and double both are used to store decimal values only. But the thing is, if you're giving float, after dot you can store 7 values, 7 places. Okay. Dot something like 7 ones, you put 7 ones, like I think I mean you're clear. Yeah. You're clear, right? In float, the precision will be after decimal, 7 places. Up to 7 places I can store my values. For example, dot one. Okay, like this. But when and my 4 will be the size of a float variable will be 4 bytes. In double, I'm going to store the same decimal value, but the precision will be after the decimal point. The precision will be 15 places. Okay. Dot 15 digits can be stored here, and the size will be 8 bytes. So in both float as well as double, we are just going to store the decimal values, but the size will be differing. Okay. And integer, in all the integer thing will be only storing integer values. Okay. Which does not have any decimal point in it. But here also the same thing. Byte means I'll be having a certain range. The certain range of for storing certain range of numbers. Okay, I can go with byte, short, int, long. Okay, I'll be telling you the range of numbers also. And when it comes to non-primitive data types, we'll be storing it string. So string I have already said to you. String is enclosed in double quotes. String can be anything like this is the string. Okay. This is a string. This is a string. Anything which is enclosed in double quotes, we'll be calling it as string. Okay. And what is an array? Array is actually a linear data structure. Array is actually a linear data structure. Okay. And the in array, like the elements are stored in square brackets. Okay. And array is a linear data structure which stores the data elements which is of same data type, or it is a collection of elements of same data type. For example, I'm going to create an integer array in the sense my array will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot have my array as 5.6, 5.4. No. Only elements of same data type can be stored, or I cannot place an array like that. But in Python, in list, we can have like any combination of things. Like in list, we'll be having L is equal to list of, or list, list of parentheses, we'll be having 1.1 a, or a string. We'll be having all the combination of the data types. But here in Java, array means storing the elements of similar data type. Okay. If I'm going to create a float array, then I'll be able to store 1, 2.1, 2.1, 3.4, or something like that. If I'm going to create a string array, means I'll be able to store only the string values. And this is a character value, it's not a string. Even if you're writing SDFG, SDFD, and you're enclosing it in single quotes, means it will be throwing an error. Okay. And you can also have character array. So it depends. Okay. So these are the non-primitive data types. Okay. And I have said I'll be telling you the type and the size in bits. Okay. And one byte is equal to 8 bits. Okay. So here they have given only in the form of bits. You can convert it into byte. For example, these are numeric data types, right? So byte, short, int, and long. These four data types are actually used in order to store a particular integer value. Hmm? If you are going to store a value, for example, in the range minus 128 to 127, okay, Hmm, I'm going to store a value which falls in this range. Okay, so instead of putting int a is equal to 125, uh, this okay. I can go with byte a is equal to 125 because 125 lies in this range. Okay, and if I'm going to use byte means in my memory only for a 8 bits will be allocated. But when I'm going to use int, 32 bits will be allocated, which is actually waste of memory. Okay, so if so that's why these different types are being given. Okay, so I'm going to I can store int a is equal to 125 also. That's not an issue. Okay, we will be able to store. But the thing is, if you're going with byte means it will be very specific. Okay, because as the range lies here, instead of going to a high data type which needs more memory space, I can go with the data type which requires less memory space, and also the same value can be stored, right? But in competitive point of view, in CP, competitive programming point of view, we won't be we'll be usually storing the variables in int only. Okay, uh, it's just to know we do have many options. Like if I'm going to store any value like 30,000 this I'll be using short a is equal to 30,000 is equal to 30,000. Okay. And similarly in long, okay. Float I said float will be having seven digits precision after the decimal point, and double will be having 15. And character, to store a character I'll be giving character a is equal to 1. And the character is also it consumes one byte only, which means 8 bits. Okay, it's given 16 bits. Okay, sorry, it's 2 bytes. Okay. Um, so character takes 2 bytes of memory, and when it comes to boolean, either you can store the value true or false. So boolean a is equal to true or false. Okay, so these are the different data types and their memory size in bits, and the value range for which you can store that particular values. And this is the type of variables which is present in Java. Okay, so we have three different types: local, instance, and class. Okay, and here you'll be able to see whenever I'm going whenever I'm going to give the variable int will be my data type. Okay, the data type of this variable, what data it is going to store. This is the variable name and this is the value. Okay, and the address of this variable will be stored in the heap memory. You have already seen, right? So in the heap memory, it will be stored something like this. So 20 will be there in the memory address, and age will be pointing to it. Okay. So when we come to see about the three types of variables, okay, see variables concept is a global thing only, but when you are placing your variable in different context of your code, the name of the variable it changes. Okay. For example, local variables. Okay, I'll be telling you with the help of local variables. Okay. For example, uh, okay, I'm going to write a method. Okay, int addition int a comma int b. Guys, don't worry. We'll be also seeing how to write a method detailedly. I'm just giving you an example of what is meant by a local variable, what is meant by an instance variable and class variable. Okay. So initially, yeah, I'm going to write a method, and inside the method, I'll be having int sum is equal to a plus b. Okay, and the statements whichever I'm writing in this particular in this particular method, no, it is known as block of the method block, or the block of statements. Okay, so inside this method only the sum variable is there. Sum is an integer variable which is present inside this addition method. So which means it has a local scope of this addition method. I cannot go and access my sum variable here because the scope of this variable is here only. So this is known as local variables. So my sum variable scope is local. The thing is, I can access the sum variable only inside the addition method. Outside of the addition method, I cannot use anywhere. Okay, that is the meaning of local variables. Instance variables, in the sense, the variables which are declared inside the class but outside the method. Okay. For example, let's take the main method itself. Okay, these are the instance variables. I'm going to have inside the main class. I'm going to have variables like int student name and int marks. So the same variables only. Sorry, it's not int. Sorry, string. Okay, the same variables only. I'm not having the variables inside any method, but the variable it belongs to this particular class. Which means if I'm having n number of methods, I can use these two variables anywhere inside my method. Which means the scope is global. Global means inside the class it is global. Okay. So I'm defining the variables outside the methods, but inside the class. And in every method, like every a number of methods, I'll be able to access this. It's something like people who know Python. It's something like a student name and marks variables are having global scope. Okay. Next is the class variables. So as I've already said, okay, if I'm going to say something like static int a is equal to 10 means it is termed as class variable. Okay, and this initialization will be carried out once the program is once the program is executed, only once the initialization will be carried out for this particular variable, so it cannot be a local one. And this is whenever we are using static keyword, it is known as a class variable. Okay, so you can also call it as a class variable or static variables. Okay, yeah, this is all about the variables thing. We do have three different types of variables. Now it's the question time. Do you people have any questions? Okay, it acts like, yeah, okay, correct. Ma'am and float, we have to write F at the end. It's your wish only. Float F is equal. Float F is equal to 1.3. I mean, actually, uh, after the value you can put F. Actually, it depends on the compiler. I'll be telling you like system dot out dot println. And in Python, I mean, people who knows Python, print statement, in order to indicate the separator, we'll be putting comma, right? Here we'll be using plus. The float values float values Here we'll be putting plus. Yeah, here it fails. I'll be checking it out with Eclipse. Okay, guys. So if you want to create a float variable, means we'll be putting it as we'll be including f at the end of the value. Okay. If you're not including f, it is being treated as double. Okay. See, now I'm telling f is my variable, and my variable is going to hold a float data type, and I'm not even specifying f. Okay. Here error is being thrown. The error is mismatch cannot convert from double to float. But here, if I'm going to give double, means no error is there. Okay, so whenever you are giving a decimal, whenever you are going to point a decimal value, if you are specifying f only, it is considered as a float value. Or if not, it is already a double value. Okay. Thank you for that question, Rohit. Guys, are you clear with the concept of data types and variables and the concept which you have seen until now? So, are you people clear with the concepts which we have seen? Or do you have any doubts so that we can make it clear? Little bit, ma'am. Okay. I mean, okay, like, okay, Rohit. So, Shivam, where you're not able to understand completely or clearly which concept, no, so that I can repeat it again. No, ma'am, in the sense you're not able to follow Sandeep. And only these people are active. What about others? And yeah, next, it's very simple. What is the size of int data type in bytes? People, you can answer in the chat. So I'm getting stuck on local and a particular value. Okay. See, local variable is very simple. Okay. So it is something like I'll be giving an example. Okay. Okay. I'll be giving an example of local variable. Okay. So I'm having a method addition here. Okay. And I'm going to pass two parameters inside the addition method. And I'm having a sum variable here. And as my return type is int, I'm just going to return the sum. My return value must be an integer data type, and here my sum is an integer data type, so I'm going to return sum here. Okay. Now I'm going to uh, say int num1 is equal to 5, num2 is equal to 3. Okay. Now I mean, as it is an int return type, I'll be assigning int result is equal to addition num1 comma num2. Now addition this okay. Okay, I'm getting the result. Okay. Um, hmm. But see, local variable in the sense I'm having a variable sum. Okay, and I have specified it only inside this method, addition method. So I'll be able to access the sum here. But see, if I'm going to give a statement like print the value of print the value of sum in a main method, it gives error. Print the value of sum, it gives error because the scope of the sum is only in this addition method. Okay, if I'm having sum cannot find the symbol. Okay, here itself the scope of the variable is over. So if I'm having any if I'm going to access any sum, means it just checks inside this main method any sum variable is being initialized or is being declared or not. Okay, and then if I'm giving sum is equal to 0, means now the answer will be 0 here. Okay, so this is the local variables. Only in that particular method, the scope will be local. Okay, thank you, Shreya. The data type int will be having the size as 4 bytes, and also it depends on the compare. Okay, it can be 2 or 4 bytes. Shivam, are you clear with the local variables concept? It's very simple. Like if I'm going to access any variable, means I want to declare it in that particular local block. Okay. So guys, come on, like, what is the size of? Okay, I have only said. So next, as it's 7:51, we'll be seeing operators. What do you mean by operators? Okay, and then we'll be just having an overview of what are the different types of operators which is present in Java, because we do have 8 different types of operators, and then we'll be winding up today's session. Okay, remaining we'll be seeing tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be starting from operators. Okay. Okay, guys, how is the Josh? Come on. Like, see, I'm going to wind up the class within 5 minutes, so be happy. Okay, so what do you mean by operators? So we have seen the concepts like variables, data types, and I'm going to store a variable, a value to a particular variable. But what if I want to perform some computation, or what if I want to perform some mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all those things, or I'm going to assign some value, or I'm going to update some value, okay, or I'm going to have it checked, or I'm going to compare whether both the values are same or not, whether if it is greater than or equal to or something like that, greater or lesser. I'll be going with operators. Okay, so operators are nothing but the symbols that is used to like compare, or which is used to compute something, and the variables which we are using in order to perform some operations is known as operands. Okay, here itself we have seen thank you Shivam. Here itself we have seen okay, an example here. So here this is my statement. Okay, int sum is equal to a plus b is my statement, and here plus is an arithmetic operator. Okay, and a and b are operands. The symbols by which an operation is going to take place is known as an operator, and the variables on which some operations are going to take place is known as operand. Okay, yeah, and these are the meaning of what do you mean by operators. So we do have 8 different types of operators in Java, like arithmetic operators, unary operators, and arithmetic operators in the sense it follows the basic arithmetic, basic math operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, and a modulus. Modulus, like we'll be having a percentage symbol in order to find the remainder. For example, 5 mod 2 will be 1. In 5 we have two twos, so the remainder will be 1, right? So we'll be able to find the remainder of 2 operands with the help of percentage. This is called as modulus operator or modulo operator. Okay, and the unary operator are nothing but um, which The computation or the operation which is done on a single operand is known as unary operator. So here this thing is a binary operand because we have two operands, binary operand. Whenever you are coming to see about unary operators in the sense, you'll be having only one operand A or only one operand B. Okay. So only on one operand you're going to perform some operations. It comes under unary operators. Assignment operators means you're going to assign some values. Okay, assign some values like A is equal to 5. It is an assignment operator. Okay, or you're going to increment and assign a plus is equal to 5 or a is equal to a plus 5. Okay, all these things come under assignment. Don't worry, I'm just giving an overview of the operators which is being present in Java. Okay, next class is tomorrow, right? So tomorrow we'll be seeing the different examples in coding way. Okay, for the operators concept. Relational operators means I'm going to just apply some comparison things like either like two operands are equal to each other or not equal to each other, or a is greater than b, less than b, greater than or equal to b, or less than or equal to b, something like that. And logical operators are the operators like we'll be having and or not. I don't know how many people know about the Boolean truth tables here. We'll be seeing the logical operators also, and ternary operators. Ternary operators are sometimes sometimes very useful in competitive programming in order to reduce the number of lines of code. Okay, and it is very simple, but it has a very huge meaning as well. Uh, when it comes to ternary operators, it is also known as conditional operators. Okay, so based on a particular condition, the value will be assigned to a particular variable. Bitwise operators, it is bitwise operator and shift operators. Like in order to know more about these two operators, you have to know like how a particular decimal value is being stored in binary format. Okay, for example, you have to know how to store a particular integer value. How, if I'm going to give a is equal to 5, how a will be represented in terms of bit binary or in terms of bitwise representation. Okay, so these are the different operators which is being present in Java. So tomorrow we'll be seeing more on all these operators, the coding part. Okay, I just want you people to go through certain things and come for tomorrow's session. Just you have to learn how to represent a binary representation of numbers. Okay, you have to learn binary representation of numbers. Okay, so for example, if I'm going to give 2, 2 is termed as a decimal number because the base value is 10. Okay, uh, in terms of like 8 bits, I'll be representing to us it follows the 8421 rule. So I just want you people to see how we can represent numbers in terms of its binary representation. Okay, both positive as well as negative numbers. How to store negative numbers as well as positive numbers, because uh, these are actually the bitwise representation. So you have to go through the bitwise representation of numbers because that helps you to understand how bitwise and shift operators works. Because bitwise will be having bitwise operators and the logical operators will be similar. Logical will be having and or not, and in bitwise will be having bitwise and bitwise and bitwise or. Okay, but the difference between logical and bitwise is in bitwise we are going to take the bits of the numbers and we are going to compute it in that way. So the computation in bitwise and shift operators, it is being done with the help of the bits which is present for that particular like decimal representation. So only if you know how to represent a number in its bitwise or in its binary format, you people will understand more about bitwise and shift operators, because we have in bitwise and bitwise or all those things, and shift we have shift left, shift right, all those things. So yep, and the time is 8 and we're done for today's session. So if you people have any doubts, you can answer it. Can you please share? Yeah, sure, sure. I'll be sharing. Sure, I'll be sharing today's notes. Okay. The expression evaluator. Yeah. So yes, guys. So we are done with today's session. So if you people have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat window, or if you want areas where I should, if you have any feedback, also you can give it so that. So how was the session, guys? Thank you. Thank you, guys. You people cooperated in a very well manner. Thank you. If you people have any doubts, you can let me know. You're teaching very good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, guys. May I know? Oh, my name is Kirtana. So, guys, tomorrow, everybody, just go through how to represent the numbers in binary format and then come for tomorrow's session. Okay. Okay. I'll share it with the Octanet team. I think they'll be sharing the notes with you, Abhinash. Is that fine? Does it work? I'll be sharing the notes with the Octanet team and they'll be providing you the notes. Okay.